Today's episode is sponsored by Care Of. I have been loving Care Of because I am a vitamin girly. I get a box to my doorstep every month so conveniently. So listen, it does not matter what age or what stage you are at. Care Of is here to support you on your health and wellness journey. You take their online quiz. It's super easy, less than 5 minutes. They ask about your health goals, your current lifestyle, and then they come up with the perfect recipe of vitamins you need. And then boom, here it is coming to your doorstep. Vitamins and supplements are not a one-size-fits-all, which is why Care Of provides tailored guidance that evolves with you as your needs change. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month. So listen, girls, right now, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Unfazed50. Again, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Unfazed50. Hey girlies, today's episode is sponsored by Every Plate. I have been loving Every Plate. They are now my new favorite meal delivery kit service because they are by far the best deal and I love to save my coin in any way I can. Every Plate is America's best value meal kit. While most meal kits come with a premium price tag, Every Plate offers delicious dinners that won't break the bank. We love to hear that. Let Every Plate plan, shop, and deliver everything you need to cook a delicious meal at a conveniently low price. Choose from 17 delicious weekly recipes and then sit back and relax. Kick your feet up, girls. They'll deliver pre-portioned ingredients and easy to follow recipe cards right to your doorstep. I love not having to do anything. They just do it all for us, okay? So if you're looking for a quick and satisfying fix, Every Plate offers a selection of recipes that come together in under 20 to 25 minutes. Very cute and gorgeous. We love efficiency. We love effectiveness. So girls, right now, if you want to try Every Plate for just $1.79 per meal, go to everyplate.com and enter code Unfazed179. Again, try Every Plate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code Unfazed179. Welcome back to Unfazed and Unbothered. I'm Camo.
I'm Tasia. We have the whole kid here.
We got a full house today.
Yes, we do.
We got Green Bean over here on the big microphone. You got something to say?
What do you have to say, Green Girl? Princeton, do you have anything? Okay.
Okay, period. Yeah, great. Yeah, I love that. So we're going to answer even more questions. We got so many good, juicy questions a few weeks ago, and I love answering you guys' questions. I feel like it's very interactive, and like we're giving you what you guys are literally asking. So yeah, okay. Let's play a game. You want to play a game? It's called the quiet game.
What?
Hey, you're losing already.
What?
Okay, so this question really kind of touches on the last question we answered last week about like friends, whatnot. But Miss Carolina Lorraine, I hope I'm saying her name right. I love her. I see her all the time in my likes and my comments. You're so sweet. Should we accept apologies from friends we fall apart from? And I say it depends on the circumstance.
Forgive and forget, yeah.
See, Tasia is more like, oh no, let me just wipe my hands clean on this bitch. But me, I'm like, it really depends. Like, people have done some shady shit to me, but like, I'm not perfect. So I try to like look past those type of things. Like, it's just really all circumstantial. Like, if it was something like we just had like, well, for instance, me and Trent, we fell out and we both did some shady shit to each other. Don't say that. And we came back together stronger than ever.
I think it's all about accountability. Like, and like you were saying last week, you know, you've always been aware and like you have a sense of accountability. You know, I messed up, I can own it. And as long as there's, you know, accountability and you can feel that they're like genuinely sorry.
Or that one.
Okay, it's the same one, girl.
That one.
As long as there's that, then I think you can. As long as there's like a healthy, mature conversation about where things went wrong and how we can avoid going through that again, like, why not?
Yeah, I can agree. Like, I've forgiven everybody, but I've also forgot them as well. So
There's a lot of those for me as well.
I'm just kidding. But no, yeah, I'm a firm believer that forgiveness is for yourself and not for other people. And then, yeah, fuck you after that. I'm just kidding. No, but yes, I agree.
What is it, Pumpkin?
Or that one.
Girl, it's the same one.
You see how brother's not saying anything? You should do what
Right.
he's doing.
Look, he's being so amazing, and you are just chatty Cathy.
Greenlee, do you want to go get a lemon loaf in a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go
Yeah.
watch TV while we're doing the podcast.
Okay.
She's talking in the microphone like it's saying something.
Okay, sister. Well, will you go watch TV in your room?
No.
We're going to go bye-byes in a little bit.
You gonna go bye-bye?
No.
Princeton
Okay,
is
okay.
Saburiba.
Okay, well, we're just trying to push through. I know Tasia's talked before. It's very stressful to do the show with the kids, but
You got to do what you got to do
we gotta
sometimes.
do what we gotta do. Okay, Sydney Styles _ wants to know, what was your first impression of each other?
I've said before, love at first sight in a friendship way. Yes, ma'am.
I just thought you were like so crazy and silly, and like I felt like you really complimented my crazy and my silly, and it just worked. Like, we both just like say the most off the wall random shit that doesn't make any sense, but it makes sense to us.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so _ Meg Veda wants to know how to let go and to move on. I think you just have to have that like that sense of closure to really move on from a situation, you know? Like those healthy conversations, whether it is that you choose to accept their apology and let them back in, or you know, you just close that chapter completely and move on. But I feel like in order for you to move on and you're not like spiraling mentally or overthinking or like, oh, where things went wrong, like I think you really have to have that conversation. But really spending time alone is very important to any transitional period in your life. Like when you are moving on from a friendship or a partner or even from family, like there's got to be like a time for healing. And yeah, I would say just take it one day at a time.
Yeah, it's definitely harder than you would think too, because like without closure, you're always wondering. And then sometimes you're just never going to get closure. And so you just have to accept that. But it's hard. And the healing process is definitely hard and it could take some time. But yeah, it's definitely easier said than done. Like, for example, with me, like I had to cut off half of my family because they're so toxic. And they've actually reached out to my dad and have said they miss me and stuff like that. But like for my personal growth and like my own mental health, like I can't entertain that because some people are just bad for your mental health and they really don't have good intentions and never will. And you just have to accept that. So like, yeah, I never got closure for cutting them off, but like I healed and I had to just understand that sometimes you just don't get closure, you know?
Yeah, that is tea. I mean, that is true. Like sometimes you're not going to get the closure you want. I think closure is very helpful for Greenlee. I think closure is very helpful for, you know, the moving on. But yeah, if you don't get the closure, you're just going to have to really take it one day at a time and just, you know, heal on your own, I guess. But Andrew _ M25 wants to know our thoughts on prenups.
What is that?
Okay, so I have my opinions on this. So a prenup is basically like if you are somebody who is, you know, famous or wealthy, if you will, and you marry somebody, some people have them like sign a prenup so that in the event it doesn't work out and y'all get divorced, like let's say, let's use like Lady Gaga, for instance. She got married to somebody who maybe wasn't on the same level as her. She might have them sign a prenup, or the other way around, saying basically, when we leave this, if we leave this, you're taking what's yours and I'm taking what's mine. But it's not like I'm going to lose half of my wealth, And I feel like that is, I know a lot of people, they don't like a lot of, especially women, I've seen a lot of people get very offended, like when that conversation is brought up. Hold on, baby. But I feel like that's just like a security thing. Like, and if you know that you're going to spend the rest of your life with me, then you shouldn't take offense to me wanting to protect myself, because there is always sharks in the water. Like, you don't know what somebody's intentions fully are. So when my time comes and I do get married, especially if I'm married to somebody who is not like evenly yoked with me in the sense of like we are cut from the same cloth, like, how am I supposed to just fully trust that they don't want to just marry me so that a year down the road they can take me for everything I own,
Yeah, I mean, I do understand why people would do that. And like, I would never be like shame people for doing that. But I guess like I just kind of don't agree with it for myself. Like you know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you're getting married to somebody, it's for like love and stuff like that. And I feel like you shouldn't worry about that. And if you do, it's, in my opinion, it might not be real, but like I do understand why people do it.
Well, I would just worry that, I feel like for me, the way I see it is if someone was, let's say I was getting married to somebody and I said, I want you to sign this prenup. And they took offense to it and was like, you don't love me. To me, that sounds like maybe they do have some type of bad intention and they did all along have a plan to, drain you of everything when they get a divorce. So for me, I feel like if your partner is fully comfortable and they're not looking at it in an angle of what can I gain from this relationship, if you really do love me and you really do want this to work, then you're not in it for my assets. You're not in it for my money. So you should have no problem, or, you shouldn't, have an issue signing one, because you're like, well, I don't care. I'll sign it because I know I'm not going to leave you and try to rob you of everything. I love you. I want to be with you.
Yeah.
But then some people will be like, oh, you don't trust me. So that's why you're making me sign this.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Hold on, baby. Okay, so Maddie Duncan wants to know, what does a typical day look like for the both of you? For me, really, I lay in bed for a bit. I get up, usually go for a little walk.
You tell me.
Greenlee. Almost had an accident. Go for a walk, go grab my coffee, probably hit up a thrift store, and that's about it. Maybe do some ads or tarot readings, write music.
And you're looking at it right now. I mean, mom life.
Yeah.
And that's why I was, like I've said in previous episodes, like people are like, social media is not a job. Like literally, like you don't get a break. Like I'm literally doing a podcast and I have my kids on the podcast. And sometimes it just is what it is. Like this was last minute. Usually like I'd have them at a babysitter or whatever, but it is last minute. Cam's going out of town. So like you just do what you have to do. But like, I feel like people don't give others enough credit when they do social media. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Okay, let me see. Ooh. How? Okay. Yay. Mackenzie _ Kettler 21. How should family deal with loved ones who are dealing with addiction?
See, this is always like kind of like a sensitive subject because like I never really know, but like I know for me, like nobody could really do anything. They just had to let me do what I was doing until I was ready or got caught. And so usually when people come to me and they're like, hey, what do I do with a family member that's an addict? And I'm like, honestly, there's nothing you can do. You can't force them to stop. Something has got to happen to them to make them want to change. Otherwise, they're just not going to, which really sucks because while they're doing what they want to do, you're worried, sick. You feel like you get no relief. And that is honestly the most unfortunate thing about addiction. Like, you don't get a relief until they're in jail or they're in rehab or something bad happens to them. Like, you don't get that relief until they are ready to either stop or, hopefully they don't die from their addiction. But that happens to so many people and it's scary. But like, you can't help somebody that doesn't want to be helped. And we've talked about a friend that I have, like, it gets to a point where, yes, I do understand addiction, like been there, done that. But like, I don't have to tolerate somebody who's not wanting to get themselves help either. Yeah, I'll be here when you're sober, but like in the meantime, like I can't associate with it because it's way too hard on me and it's hard for everybody. And it honestly helps me realize like why my parents got so fed up with me, because I remember at the time I was like, they don't care for me. No, it's actually exhausting dealing with it.
It's on. Yeah, no, it is definitely hard to especially watch that. But I feel like if it's like, direct family, I feel like really you got to be patient, but you also got to kind of like lay it down on them. Like, you're destroying your life, you're hurting your relationships, and someone needs to have like a real come to Jesus with you. But then again, like, you can have all those conversations, and if someone's not willing to change, they're not going to change. If they're not scared of losing people and things, and they're not going to get the help they need. But like, I don't know, I guess try to be patient. But if it gets to a point where like you either have to all come together and like put them in an intervention or something, like, so be it. But I would say the first step would be patient and try to like be understanding that like it probably stems from something traumatic, and try to get to the root of the problem and like get them in therapy if you can, or direct them to therapy or something like that.
I think we should go on a break really quick.
We should.
Today's episode is sponsored by Care Of. I have been loving Care Of because I am a vitamin girly, but I'm not the best when it comes to, getting things in order, organizing and gathering. Some days I would miss my, my biotin, or some days I might, you know what I'm saying? Like, I take a lot of vitamins, but now because of Care Of, I get a box to my doorstep every month. So conveniently, all the vitamins I need every day are packaged individually. So I just open that girl up, plop it in my hand, and boom, everything I need down my throat at once. Very cute, very gorgeous, very efficient, very effective. So listen, it does not matter what age or what stage you are at. Care Of is here to support you on your health and wellness journey. You take their online quiz. It's super easy, less than 5 minutes. They ask about your health goals, your current lifestyle, and then they come up with the perfect recipe of vitamins you need. And then boom, here it is, coming to your doorstep. Vitamins and supplements are not a one-size-fits-all, which is why Care Of provides tailored guidance that evolves with you as your needs change. Care Of is a subscription service that ships high-quality, personalized vitamins, supplements, and powders conveniently to your door every month. So listen, girls, right now, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Unfazed50. Again, for 50% off your first Care Of order, go to takecareof.com and enter code Unfazed50.
Hey guys, it's Tasia, and I've always struggled with mental health, you guys. Y'all know that I have been in and out of treatment. Y'all know that I've been struggling through different medications for years, and it took me a long time to put my mental health first. But ever since I started taking accountability for how important myself was, my life changed. And that all started with me finally putting my mental health first, getting into therapy, taking the proper medication, getting a proper diagnosis. And if you're like me and you struggle with anxiety, sometimes you don't want to go to doctor's appointments. I hate going to doctor's appointments. It's so much easier just to meet with a doctor online or even chat with somebody online. Sometimes we go through crisis where we don't know how to express the way we're feeling, but we know we're just not feeling good. And with BetterHelp, you can get in to see a doctor within 48 hours. No month of waiting, no weeks of waiting. BetterHelp wants to help you now. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. I stand by them and I love what they do. I love that they want to help other people, especially as fast as they do. This month, BetterHelp Online Therapy wants to remind you to take care of your most important relationship, and that's the one with yourself. It's an online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. And I love that because a lot of people struggle with anxiety. That's why they put off their mental health, because they don't want to go in a doctor's office. They don't want to talk to somebody face to face. It's also much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can be matched with a therapist in under 48 hours. You can give it a try and see why over 2 million people have used BetterHelp online therapy. This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Unfazed and Unbothered listeners get 10% off their first month at betterhelp.com/unfazed. That's BETTERHELP. BetterHelp.com/unfazed.
We're back. Greenlee is in her room now. So let's see. Let's pick right back up. What Grace McKinley asked, what is your biggest piece of advice to someone in their early 20s?
I would say to not be so hard on yourself, because I think that's something that I struggle with. Like, I'm super hard on myself. And even a few years back, I was so hard on myself that it literally drove me to like self-medicating. Just like taking one day at a time and like accepting yourself for where you are and how far you've come, because even things that seem small are actually huge.
Yeah, I mean, your 20s are like very chaotic. Like most of the time, like most people, they don't get it figured out until like early 30s. So it's okay to not have it together. Like I saw this text post that really put things into perspective for me. And it was like, give yourself a break if you're not, developed, or you're not living in the timeline you created for yourself as a child or when you were, a teenager. Because like when I was younger, I thought when I turn 18, I'm moving out. I'm not going to, I'm going to be grown. And that just wasn't the case. And I thought that by like, 22, I would be this world-renowned touring musician. And that's just not how things came to fruition. It's still a learning process. It's still something I'm working towards. But give yourself, some slack, cut yourself some slack, and just be present. Really try to be present. It's very hard sometimes because I feel like your 20s, you're kind of stuck looking back at your younger days when life was easy. We didn't have bills. We didn't have responsibilities. But then you're also like, oh shit, I'm ready to be in the future. I'm ready to have everything together. I'm ready to be settled down. So it's like, try to be present, try to like roll with the punches, take it one day at a time, and just make the most of it. Dizzy Dreams, what's the biggest beef you girlies have ever had?
I don't think we really had any. We've always
not between each other, but like,
oh, okay.
It could be general.
I don't really know. Biggest beef.
Well, while you think of one, my biggest beef was puka shells. If you know, you know. So I think I've like kind of talked about the situation a little bit, but yeah, this guy, he was in my town, this little small town faggot, can't stand his guts still to this day. He was just being very racist and homophobic, and one thing led to another, a lot of back and forth on Facebook, and then we arranged to like physically fight at the McDonald's parking lot. I showed up, he left, and it just turned into like this thing that went on for months. Like me and my homegirls would go to McDonald's and his brother would be there, like pulled a knife out on us one time, threw a soft drink in the truck. Like I made a song about him coming for blood. It was just a lot. And still to this day, like I clown on him because he's just honestly an easy target. And I know that sounds fucked up, but he's just not a good person. And he's just like such a meme to me. What is it? Okay, go in your room. And then we'll go bye-bye. Okay, well then you gotta play the quiet game. But it was very exciting for me. It was just very funny, that whole experience. When I get in beefs with people, my go-to is to always make a diss track. I can't tell you how many times I've done that. I have at least 5 or 6 that are still available on SoundCloud. Oh my God, Jessica Ka back in the day, which by the way, Somebody just sent me her mugshot last night for going to jail for trafficking macaroni and cheeses
In our
and
hometown.
cocaine. I don't know exactly where she went to jail, but it's just really funny how she always had so much to say, and she just continues to get into trouble again and again and again. That is such a troubled woman. Anyways. Okay, let's talk about Euphoria, because we tried to talk on it 2 episodes ago and then the feedback started happening. Okay, the visual just froze again. So anyways, I'm back and I'm going to be taking over the rest of the show solo. Tasia is keeping the babies occupied. But like I was saying, Euphoria, the season finale came out last night. Now you're getting this episode 2 weeks after Euphoria. So hopefully most of you have had a chance to get caught up by now. So spoiler alert, what the fuck? Ashtray literally getting shot in the head at the end. That was just so sad. Like, this show has really fucked me up. I love this show so much because it's like the first show in my adult life, even since high school, that has really just drawn me in and hooked me, because it's so thought out. Like, every episode they kind of like hyper focus on another character, and kind of like you start to grow like empathy for maybe characters that you didn't really like. Like, I did not like Cal at all, because, you know, obvious reasons, he's nasty. But then there's like that episode where it kind of goes over his life and why he got on the path that he, you know, went down. And you kind of, you know, do develop like a bit of empathy for his character. And I just love how there's like so many lessons inside of this show. Like, they really put a lot of thought into this, but I'm just like, I can't wait 2 years for another fucking season. 2 years? Like, what? I was really late on the Euphoria train, because I've said before, I've not really been somebody who watches shows or watches TV, period. But this year I've kind of like, you know, stopped hanging out with a lot of people. And so I've had a lot more me time. And I have spent a lot of that me time watching shows and Euphoria. So I was late to the train, but now I'm fully obsessed. And I really hope that in season 3, Kat gets put more into it. She is one of my favorite characters in the show. Like, I really love her, and like the style that they give her, and like she's just such a fucking bad bitch. And like, I love seeing a thick bitch thrive. And like, I was really drawn to her character in season 1, and then season 2, I don't know, but I heard like some bullshit or like some of her parts got cut. I don't know if that's true or not. I hope I'm not spilling tea or nothing, but she wasn't in season 2 as much as she was season 1, and that like irritated the fuck out of me, because I love her character. Like, after she broke up with Ethan, like, there wasn't a lot more of her for the rest of the season outside of like, you know, the scenes with everybody. But I just love how they go through the characters individually in every episode and kind of hyper focus on each and every one of them and their upbringing and why they tick the way they tick. And I think it really opens up discussions for mental health and, you know, trauma, because, you know, I feel like the older generation, they tend to like have this mindset, well, y'all are just soft, or in my day, this, that, and the third, we didn't go to therapy and we didn't have this. And, you know, that's not a flex. It's really not. Nowadays, I don't think that people are softer. I think that there's just like, we're learning how to put our feelings into words. Like there's, you know, a lot of textbook words now that we can, you know, pinpoint and be like, boom, this is what I'm going through. Whereas back in the day, it was just like, oh, I'm kind of fucked up. And now there's like all types of traumas, and there's just a lot more research. And I mean, we're growing, ever so growing as a society. So, you know, saying the back of my day, y'all XYZ. It's really not the flex y'all think it is. But that's on that. Euphoria, I'm so obsessed. Like literally that whole little love bombing love affair that I was telling y'all about on last week's episode, I felt like I was on Euphoria. Like that's how intense it was. But we're gonna go on another break right now. So say break time. Say break time.
Break time.
Period.
Today's episode is sponsored by Every Plate. Now, if you're wondering, Every Plate is a meal subscription kit. Unlike any of its kind, there are so many out there. A lot of them are pretty expensive, but this one takes the cake for the best deal out there. I can guarantee you that, because Every Plate is America's best value meal kit. While most meal kits come with a premium price tag, Every Plate offers delicious dinners that won't break the bank. We love to hear that. Let Every Plate plan, shop, and deliver everything you'll need to cook a delicious meal at a conveniently low price. Choose from 17 delicious weekly recipes and then, well, sit back, girls. They'll deliver pre-portioned ingredients and easy-to-follow recipe cards straight to your front door. We love that. So if you're looking for a quick and satisfying fix, Every Plate offers a selection of recipes that come in together just under 20 to 25 minutes. Very cute and gorgeous, girls. So like I said, it is definitely the best bang for your buck out there. So right now, try Every Plate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code Unfazed179. Again, girls, try Every Plate for just $1.79 per meal by going to everyplate.com and entering code Unfazed179.
I'm going to wrap up this episode with a few more questions. But then we're going to go hit up Target because the kiddos is not having it today. Let's see. What is another question? Moving somewhere new and building a new community of friends. Fit by Kayla. Get out there. You know, if I personally have most of my friends that I've had since middle school because I've not like moved far from my hometown. But I think, you know, you got to find friends everywhere you go. Like every job I've went to, I've made a couple close friends. Every time I've moved to a different area, you know, I'll be meeting people. I'll be talking to people. Just get out there and go to a bar, say what's up to somebody. You see somebody that, you know, you think has similar interests, like say what's up, pick up a conversation and see where it goes. Anyways, ooh, sorry, that was very loud, girls. Okay, so somebody wanted to know what my type was and what I look for in a man. Kira_pop. So for me, I really just like, I don't really have like a type per se. My taste in men is pretty broad. Just have a pulse. Just kidding. I really love a guy who takes care of himself. Like dental hygiene is absolutely on the top of my list. Like I'm very much somebody who like I feel like I can't, like in a relationship stance, like I can't hold my partner to a standard that I can't even hold myself to. And hygiene, like my especially dental hygiene is so important to me. Like look at my teeth. Perfect. Thank you so much. But it's important. Like if I'm gonna be kissing you, like I can't be making out with a garbage disposal, okay? Like you can't be having a graveyard grill. You know what I'm saying, bitch? I need someone whose breath is not going to knock me the fuck out. I can't stand a sulfur breath ass bitch. Brush your tongue. Like y'all don't understand the importance of brushing your tongue. Please do it. Please go get you a tongue scraper. I promise you it'll be a great investment. But yeah, so dental hygiene. I love a man with personality. I don't think I ever have, nor will I ever go for like, you know, the guy that seems most put together and like has the 6-pack abs and like he's probably plays golf or some type of sport. I'm not into that. I like, really, I like guys that are a little fucked up, but like somebody who might not be like a 10 in society, maybe like a 6 or a 7, but they're like a 10 to me because I look at somebody as a whole. Like, obviously your first attraction to somebody, the first thing you notice is how they look. But let me tell you, I have met guys that were in a societal stance, probably like a 5 or a 6. But then when I got to know them and I got to know their heart and their personality and like, just like the way that they like move through life, like they became so sexy to me. So really and truly just somebody with personality, somebody who is low maintenance. Like I have never been someone who has high expectations in a relationship. Like I'm not looking for someone to take me to fucking Fogo de Chao every weekend and spend a couple $100s on a restaurant for us and then buy me a damn Gucci bag. Like I really don't, that just like, it's not my love language. Like my love language is just giving me your time, affection, and loyalty. Loyalty is so important. Like I have always wanted to have like, I always thought like, in my later years, like it would be great to have like a cheerleader, if you will, like somebody who really just would see me for as I am at whatever stage I'm at, and then like watch me grow and like really support it and like push me to do better and be better. And yeah, I think that's important. So for me, like really personality, we gotta have a similar taste in music. I think it's not the deal breaker necessarily, but I have been in relationships where, hey baby, you're here, come here. I have been in, relationships where, we didn't have the same taste in music, and like it's not impossible. Like I'm not saying you have to like every single same artist, but like it definitely helps. Like because if you want to be listening to like some type of music that I'm not familiar with or that I don't get down with, and I'm in some type of mood, like music is very therapeutic to me. So I need a man who can get down with my melancholy music, like some Summer Walker, some Lana Del Rey, some Jhené Aiko, like Drake, like specifically the sad, sappy Drake. Yeah, I need a man with a similar music taste. So if I had to write down on a piece of paper my perfect man, he would be, I don't discriminate. I like guys of all shapes, sizes, colors. What? What? Bye-byes? Yeah. We'll go bye-byes, but you gotta be quiet. Okay, shh. He would be my height or taller, but also height is not a deal breaker. Like my little affair, he was a lot shorter than me, and that was totally fine with me. It's not like a deal breaker for me, but if I had to paint my perfect man, he would be my height or taller, because like I'm a stallion, and like I need someone who's gonna compliment me. I want somebody who will compliment my style. I've never dated a guy who like really cared about the way they present themselves. And I'm not saying like they have to be decked out in designer by any means, but like even this guy, like he also had long black hair like I did, and he dressed in like all black like I did. And I was like, oh my God, like this is hot. Like we are like very similar in a lot of ways. We had similar taste in music. And so I did get a little ahead of myself in that situation, and so did he, but whatever. But yeah, wow, that was a very extended answer. But yeah, tall. You don't have to be shredded. You can have a dad bod. I love me a dad bod. I love me a guy who just wants to look in my eyes and make out with me. Like you gotta be very frisky. Hold it. Okay, baby, I'll hold it.
Oh my belly.
Just gotta, touch me a lot. And yeah, low maintenance. Let's go on a date to the thrift store and a coffee shop and go to the park. Like smoke a little Miss Oregano in the nature. You know what I'm saying? So that would be my perfect man. You okay, Tasia?
Yeah. He just doesn't feel good.
Let's see what's next. Yeah. There was one and I can't find it now, but they asked, at what point in your life did you think, oh my goodness, how dare you turn the mic off like that? Somebody had asked, at what point in your life did you think, what the fuck am I living for? And you know, I speaking for Tasia, I remember like before she got pregnant, like she was definitely like having that self-realization, like, what am I living for? Like, you know, she was going through things and was, you know, didn't feel fulfilled, and she was still making some poor decisions. And then it was like a light switch with her. Like she got pregnant and suddenly she wanted to be a changed woman, and she took the strides to do so. And she felt like she found a purpose, like being Greenlee's mother and now Prince's mother. So, yeah, I think that's what she would answer. So if that wasn't the answer, bitch, I'm so sorry, but I'm pretty sure I'm right because I know you, bitch. But for me, you know, I was working, serving jobs, and like I had been posting on social media and SoundCloud and here and there, and like nothing was really biting, nothing was really working. And I really started to wonder, like, what the fuck am I doing with my life? But as soon as I started growing and I started seeing the feedback, and, you know, people really resonated with what I had to say, and they really felt connected to me. Like I really found a purpose in that. And it really just gave me a lot of drive and determination to keep going with my endeavors. I love talking to people. I love getting to know their story. I love sharing my story. It's very helpful to other people. I've found solace and peace and like learned a lot from listening to other people's stories. So I think just like being a voice and like having a platform now, I do feel like I've really stepped into a bigger purpose. Whereas before I was just serving tables and I felt like I was just living a dead end life. And now I feel like we all have a purpose. We all do at the end of the day, but I really felt more in tune with my purpose. Okay. Well, you gotta be good, okay? Let's see. Where was the question? I just had a really good one. Are you kidding me? Oh, coffin_mate wants to know, how much coffee can you drink in a day? I can do 3 maybe. Okay, I'll hold it. But you gotta be quiet, please. I drink like 3 coffees a day as well. I usually go drink my coffee at home. Don't touch that. I usually drink my home coffee, and then I go to Starbucks and I get me a latte with 3 shots of blonde espresso. Blonde espresso has more caffeine, just saying. And then I usually end the day off with another coffee. I know, crazy. So much caffeine. That is actually something that I really want to work on, is my caffeine intake, because I worry about what it's doing to my nervous system over time. And there's really not a lot of research out there that really discusses or like really has good evidence, substantial evidence that shows that caffeine over time can hurt you. But I mean, I'm not lying when I say this, but my family started putting coffee in my sippy cup when I was literally like 2 years old, and I drank coffee every morning since. I can't think of a day ever that I've missed a day without coffee. It's very sad. I think I want to get a tattoo that says "Death Before Decaf." It'll be cute and gorgeous. I've been thinking about that for a few years. I don't know if I'll actually go through with it, but how do you guys balance your friendship with one of you being sober and the other not? Oh God, I feel called out by that question. That was asked by the whole schoolgirl. So, I am very much somebody who does not have to smoke Miss Oregano or, get tipsy, whipsied, to have a good time. I very much can have a good time completely sober. So when I come over here, I am sober. Now, if I'm off and about doing my own thing, can't say that that's going to be the same, that I'm going to be sober. Anyways, I'm a little distracted right now. But yeah, I just come over here sober. I don't drink around Tasia. I don't smoke around Tasia. Not that I think she would even be tempted, even if I did. But yeah, there's a lot of friendships that really only thrive and work off of getting fucked up. And those aren't real friendships. Like, I've had friends in the past where, like, we couldn't even hold a conversation unless we were passing a blunt. Okay, get down. Go on, girl. Okay, go on. Yeah, so just, I try to be respectful of the fact that she has made, big strides, and I don't drink around her or smoke around her. So there's that. But beauty routines, cosmetic procedures. Allison Ellis. Everyday routines. Okay, so beauty routines, we both have like the same beauty routine. Like, we exfoliate our faces, and we use CeraVe to wash our faces, and we use Kiehl's moisturizer. It's so good. I also use Bliss Exclosion. It's one of my favorites. It's been one of my faves for years. But the Kiehl's is so good. I know we both love like the brand Too Faced. Like, I love Too Faced makeup. I don't know, the blushes, the concealer, the Born This Way concealer. Like, we both have both of those things. And yeah, girl, I love Too Faced. I know she does too. I even like their Better Than Sex mascara. That shit is amazing. Let's see, baby. Yeah. Okay, so Veronica Schmidt, I think. How to heal after a breakup. Be around people. That's like very general, like in any type of breakup, friendship, or if you lose somebody or whatever, like a partner, just be around people. Don't isolate. Like, obviously cry your tears. Have your moment of weakness, but just take time for yourself and really prioritize your happiness. Do things that bring excitement into your life. Like, don't allow yourself to slip into, a deep depression where you're sitting at home and not communicating with anybody. Like, go out, go do some things, go switch up your look, go get your hair done, girl, dye your hair, try out a new makeup look, just do something to make yourself feel good about yourself, and be around people who care. There's that. What is the biggest lesson you've learned in life? And what would you tell your younger self? Martin Jam _ I think a big lesson is that the world does not revolve around us. And the world continues to go no matter what. Like, when I got really sick, I felt so alone. And it was hard for me to come to terms with the fact that the world did not revolve around me and my circumstance. And so I still had to watch all of my good friends go out and like get jobs and drive around and go on little trips and do all that stuff that people do when they're, 16 to 21. And I was in a hospital. And then losing my mother, it was just another, test of that. My world came crumbling down, and I felt like my life was over. But it's just not the case. Unfortunately, you have to pick yourself back up and roll with the punches. Everything in life is temporary. And I think that's such a huge, it's such a simple but huge, helpful logic. Like, it helps me, like, even when things seem so amazing, I'm like, this is temporary. Like, when I'm on a good streak where I'm feeling good about myself, I'm having good experiences, I'm having a good time, I know that too there's inevitably going to be an end to that period, and there's going to be some bullshit I have to go through another lesson, but just look at every situation as a lesson. Like, what did I take from this? You know, when you are like going back to the last question, heal after a breakup, take note of what you learned and what you will not accept in your next relationship. Yeah, so date ideas during COVID. Zyria, I'm butchering that name. AZYIARAA or RAE. Date ideas during COVID. Also, much love to you both. Love the podcast. Thank you, girly. We love and appreciate you. Date ideas. I mean, like, I don't think COVID is really limiting us much anymore. I mean, I know there's a lot of people who are still like living in fear, and obviously take care of yourself. But for me, like, an ideal date would be a little picnic in the park, like something so cute and gorgeous and simple. And, that's literally free. But I don't know. Just do what makes your pussy happy, I guess. You know what, you girls? I think we're going to wrap up this episode. I appreciate you all for tuning in. If you would please leave a review, rate, and let us know what you loved about this show, what you liked, what you took from it, and what you're looking forward to in the future. But till next time, we love you. Kisses.